The Europa League is going to see Manchester United defeat Inter Milan in the UEFA Europa final. We are going to see Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes up against Juventus. We're not going to see Christian Eriksen up against Juventus again, like the Champions League round of 16 back in 2017, 2018. It is Juventus that is going to beat Manchester United in the Super Cup over at Portugal. Ronaldo against Fernandes. After the coronavirus outbreak, Inter Milan are going to play in the Europa League final. But there's a caveat. Just because Milan suffered the coronavirus outbreak over at the region of Lombardy doesn't necessarily mean that Inter Milan is going to win the Europa. It's because in Gematria, it's Wuhan that equals 67 and 22. The disease was transmitted from Wuhan to Italy. Italy equals 67 and 22. Milan equals 49 and 22. So we see a current event theme with this Europa League final. Now, this can only mean one thing, that the corona outbreak would begin in Manchester if this is the case. Now, coronavirus, corona in English is translated to crown in Italian. This is why we're going to see an Italian team in the Europa League final. It is Manchester, England that equals 73. It is International Milan equals 63 and 73. It is crown that equals 73. The coronavirus, corona translated to crown in Italian, means that we're going to see these two teams in the Europa League final. It is Antonio Conte that coached at England for Chelsea. It's England that's 57 and 30. Now it's also Porto, the site of the 2020 Super Cup, that has gematria of 30. This is the Super Cup between the winner of the Champions League and the Europa League. The winner of the Europa League plays in the Super Cup. It is Romelu Lukaku, who used to be the former striker of Manchester United, is now the striker of Inter, has seen his career revitalize over at Inter Milan. Romelu Lukaku would face off against his former team. As a matter of fact, Romelu Lukaku, during his 3-year run with Manchester United, scored 66 goals. That's why he joined Inter. Well, he had a total of 66 appearances. And that's where you're getting the gematria of Inter. Now, it's also Inter and Corona that equals 66. This is why Inter Milan is going to be in the final after the Corona outbreak. It's Romelu. It's Porto that equals 30. An English team is going to face off against Inter Milan. England is also going to suffer a Corona outbreak. It is coronavirus itself, COVID, that began in China. It is the Europa League final that's going to be played over at Poland. Over at the city of Gdansk, in Gdansk, Poland. That's where it's going to be at. Poland's principal seaport. It's a city of northern Poland. It's Gdansk that has gematria of 56. Coronavirus equals 56. It's Europa final. It's Gdansk, Poland that equals 118. It's Gdansk, Poland, and it is Snakes versus Devils that equals 46. Now, Manchester United are the Red Devils. You know that. Inter Milan, their symbol is a serpent. It's a large snake. This is why you see snakes like Antonio Conte win the Champions League as a player for Juventus, managed Juventus a Scudetto, but he joins the enemy Inter Milan is because he's a snake. Pepe Marotta, player chief of Juventus, is a traitor, is a snake. He joins Inter Milan. You see that? These serpents, these snakes, they use a judicial system to hammer the Calciopoli down on Juventus, even though every single team was guilty. This is how Inter are the snake. Manchester United, the Red Devils, play dirty. They get calls by the FA, by the English FA. It is Ashley Young that is also a former Manchester United player got sold off to Inter Milan this year. Alexis Sanchez, born on July the 9th. Longtime English player. He now plays for Inter Milan this year. He's going to be playing in this final. Romelu Lukaku. Ashley Young. And then now we have Alexis Sanchez, the Arsenal star who was on the downside, collecting the highest wages in England over at Manchester, was a complete flop. He's 31 years of age, but now he's on Inter Milan on a loan deal. He's going to be facing off against Manchester United. It is Alexis. It is Ashley that equals 70 and 25. It is UEFA Europa final that equals 70. It is Gematria Europa final that equals 71. Or rather, it's Europa that equals 76 and 31. And it's Sanchez that equals 76 and 31. This is why Alexis Sanchez, at 31 years of age, is going to be a winning player for Manchester United. It's going to help them win the Europa final. And we see Man United against the Devils. See Manchester United against Juventus. List the Europa League finals and see what the tally is for each team. Inter are going to be 3-2 in the final. Remember that it is viruses as Gematria 32. So 3-2 in the final it is. Inter Milan, this is a symbolic sacrifice of Milan. Juventus, the most hated, the most celebrated team in Italy. Juventus win the ultimate cup in European football, which is the Champions League. The girlfriend of Italy, the love of Italy, is going to end the 24-year drought. But it doesn't mean Inter is going to win the Europa. They're going to lose the Europa. It's going to symbolize the suffering that Milan had. Juventus end up winning the Champions League after the country suffers from the coronavirus outbreak. They're going to be the winning country in the Champions League. Half of the country supports Juventus in Italy. You had 32 appearances for Alexis Sanchez over at Manchester United. And now, list of Europa Leagues. Manchester United go 2-0 in the final over at Gdansk. Also, it is Alex Ferguson, or it is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Ox, number 2 in the Chinese Zodiac, who's going to win title number 2 for Manchester United in Europa. It's going to be an Ox, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And for the list of Europa finals, when you categorize it by country, England wins its 10th title. England wins its 10th title. It's not Italy that's going to win its 10th title. It's because Antonio Conte is born in the year of the snake. Antonio Conte, is born in the year of the Rooster, 1969. 1969 is a year of the Rooster, number 10 in the order. That's why we're going to see either Italy or England win its 10th Europa title. It is going to be Manchester United that's going to end up doing that. This is partially why Antonio Conte won the Premier League in 2016, 2017 in the year of the Rooster. Man United over Inter it is, and we see the Super Cup of Ronaldo against Fernandes over at their home country of Portugal. And now this doesn't necessarily mean that Lukaku is going to make it to Porto. Gematria is the code of the elite. Romelu Lukaku is going to end up losing out on playing at Porto, but it means that he's going to be in the final. So you have to look out with Gematria sometimes.